Welcome back, guys. It's me, your favorite guy, Unknown Capital, and today I'm going to be doing Game Week 34 predictions. We got some very important games. We got some for the Battle of Top 4, we got the Merseyside Derby, and then we also got some Battle of the Relegation games. And I feel like this Game Week is very important for all teams. So let's get right into the video. Before I get into all the predicting, I just want to ask you for one thing. Press the subscribe button, guys. Please press the subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And I'm telling you, it will be worth it. It will be the best decision of your life. But let's start with the first game. So the first game we got Arsenal versus Man United. We got 6th position against 5th position. And this game is so important for both teams. Like, let's start with Arsenal. They recently lost against Southampton, and this is a third straight loss. And I feel like with Arsenal, they're top 4 on their grip. Like, top 4 was so close. They were 3 points behind Tottenham at one time with 28 games. And top 4 looked so close. But now, this is the Premier League. 3 losses on the bounce, and top 4 looks even further. Yes, Tottenham lost the last game to Brighton, but Tottenham have an easy run of games coming up. I think Arsenal probably have the hardest run of games coming in the top 4 race. They still got Chelsea to play. They still got us to play. I think they played Liverpool already, so Arsenal do have some tough fixtures to coming up. But with Arsenal, they should have really won that game against Southampton. Bukayo Saka had an open goal. Fraser Foster came to the save. And there's so many chances on goal, but somehow it just looks like what's happening in Man United at this point. We get so many chances, but we can't convert goals. And I feel like in Arsenal's last 3 games, they lost 3-0 against Crystal Palace, then they lost 2-1 against Brighton, and they lost 1-0 against Southampton. So the last thing they conceded 6 goals and only scored 2 goals. So going forward, as I said, they're not converting the chances. But let's move on to Man United. Man United is shambolic. It's shambolic. Absolutely shambolic. Like, are we letting Norwich score 2 goals against us? They could have easily leveled it. You can see where the club is at this moment. And this season, Norwich have struggled to score goals. They scored a total of 16 goals, I think, coming in before, and they scored 2 goals against us. I think we give something like 15% of the goals in one game. It's like, that's absolute BS. And he needed a Ronaldo hat-trick to save us against Norwich. It's depressing. Being a Man United fan, you can see our defense is lackluster most of the time. Harry Maguire our position, Lindelof our position, Varane injured all the time, Diogo Dalot our position, Alex Telles just not good enough. Like, the confirmation of Eric Ten Hag, it really gives me some kind of confidence in the club, because you can see how this man is not just being the scapegoat for the board. He's not just being the manager. He's trying to make sure the whole club is playing. But this is another video. Arsenal have to win this game. I think Arsenal top 4. They need top 4. With Man United, if we don't get, we are scamming. We're scamming a living right now. Every time we lose a game, Arsenal and Tottenham won't lose a game, and top 4 shouldn't be at a point for Man United right now. And I don't know how we're doing this, how we're getting this. But let's get into the predict thing. I feel like Arsenal probably will bounce back against Man United, because last time we played in Old Trafford, it was just an end-to-end game. Yes, we were under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but this is Ralph. But even under Ralph, our defense has been lackluster, and we haven't been scoring goals like we did under Ole. So this prediction, I think, is going to be a draw. I think I could see Arsenal winning it, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. So guys, let's move on to the next game. So the next game, we've got Leicester City versus Aston Villa. So we've got 9th position against 15th position. And this game matters not a lot to the Premier League right now. As I said, with Leicester, they recently lost against Newcastle, but against Newcastle, this got dominated in my opinion. Like, they only had 2 shots and 1 on target, and 1 of the goal was from Lookman. Like, Newcastle played very well in that game. Like, Bruno Guimaraes was unreal for them. And Leicester recently, the players look a bit fatigued. Playing the Conference League and they're playing again on the Sunday, you can see how it's taking a toll on the team. And a team, like with small clubs, you can't be spending money to buy multiple players. And sometimes squad depth is important when you're playing European football. And you can really see the concentration for Leicester right now is essentially the Conference League. As I say every video, the Conference League is very essential for them, because at the end of the day, like are they gonna get Europa League football? No, they are pretty far away from Wolves right now. And yes, they do have a couple of games in hand, but at the end of the day, Leicester, the only way they're going to make Europa League, in my humble opinion, is via the Conference League. And with Aston Villa, I feel like this. The last game they played was against Tottenham. They didn't play this recent game week because I don't know why. I think they overplayed. They are currently on 32 goals, 32 games, and some teams haven't played yet. So I think this was just a 1 week rest for Aston Villa, and I feel like the rest was very essential because they haven't been playing too well recently. Getting thumped 4-0 against Tottenham. Yes, they did have chances. They did dominate for 20 minutes of the game. At the end of the day, it was Antonio Conte and a Son masterclass in my humble opinion. Son absolutely running through the team, causing absolute mayhem. The defending from Tyrone Mings, and I always forget another defender. Is it Conser? If it's not Conser, I'm going to look like an absolute clown. But you could see how they did dominate. As I said, they did dominate for 15 minutes and they tried to score, but at the end of the day, they didn't convert the chances. And with Aston Villa, you know that under Steven Gerrard, they're going to have a very solid team. Everyone knows their role. They're very compact. They're very organized. I feel like this game means more to Aston Villa than Leicester City, in my opinion. Because with Leicester City, I think they're playing midweek. I don't know who they're playing against, but I think they might play again on the weekend. But I could be wrong, in my opinion. With Aston Villa, they only have the league to play. Like they don't need to worry about what Leicester need to worry about. The Conference League's playing against Roma. Playing against Roma is not easy because Roma are the likes of Tabi, Abraham, Mkhitaryan, and Osimhen as a manager. So are they going to rest all the players on the weekend and make sure they can play this Thursday? I think that could be a real evident thing for Leicester. So in my opinion, I think it's going to go 2-0 Aston Villa. On to the next game. So the next game we've got Man City versus Watford. We've got first position against 19th. And I'm telling you, I'm going to whiz through this game very quickly. Let's start with Watford. Watford are basically going down in our opinion. They got so close to getting a big draw against Brentford, but in the last minute they bottled it. Brentford got the win, and Brentford are flying right now, but Brentford's going to come up later. But Watford, come on man, like you bought Roy Hodgson. Any manager can't save this club right now. They need to sign defenders. If they had defenders this season, they could have easily stayed in the division. But having no defenders, you can see how quickly Watford get opened up. And I feel like Watford have conceded something like 72 goals this season, which is unreal. Like Leeds are number one who's conceded the most goals, but with Watford, they've just been conceding goals left, right, and centre. And like as I said, if you had the proper defense, you could actually play from the back. But Roy Hodgson can't even save him, and Roy Hodgson did a great work with Palace. Even Claudio Ranieri, he tried to save it, couldn't. Like it's an absolute shams what this club's in right now. And this is what Watford has become over the last few years. They come into the Premier League and get relegated. Come into the Premier League, get relegated. It's this endless repetition of cycle. But losing last 4 of the 5 games, getting thumped, like it's relegation looking certain. I'm sorry for being rude to any Watford fans right now. I actually have a soft spot for Watford. I really like Emilio Dennis, Joshua King. I like Ben Foster. I like Will Trust-Ekong. But João Pedro, you have a good team. But if you just spend that money, when you come to the Premier League, you need to spend money. And this is what Watford didn't do. And changing so many managers ain't going to do the job. Watford are notorious for that. And this year is coming to bite them. But let's move on to Man City. Man City, this game is very important. For Man City, they recently lost to Liverpool in the FA Cup. So this is basically, they kicked out one more domestic cup. And for Man City, yes, they're concentrating the Champions League and the Premier League. And they need to make sure that they win every single game of the Premier League to make sure that Liverpool don't go and last second win the title race. We don't want another. As a Man United fan, I just remember what happened against Man City in 2011 when Aguero scored and they won the title on goal difference. As Man City, you don't want this. When you're dominated for so long of the season, being 10 points clear and then bottling it, we know that Man City need to win every single game. And going and dropping points against Watford will be a sham because Watford have been absolutely terrible this season. So dropping points, yes, fatigue could be a big thing because of the regularly playing games Man City, but the squad depth is unreal, and I feel like Man City will ease past Watford in my opinion. I think I'm gonna go 3-0 Man City. Let's move on to the next game. So the next game we've got Norwich City against Newcastle. We've got 20th against 14th. And let's start with Norwich City. They were so close to a monumental draw at Old Trafford. And it took a bit of brilliance from Norwich, one good free kick to allow us to win. And Norwich, they played like they went the bottom of the league against Man United. They know that Man United are shambolic, so they couldn't do what they did against Liverpool, or they couldn't do what they did against Chelsea or any of the other top 6 teams. And they knew against Man United that the defense is shaky, and Man United play I-line with a 3-4-3. So in my opinion, they could actually cause an upset against Newcastle. I feel like Newcastle, they play very well at home, but their away record this season hasn't been too great. And for one better thing for Norwich, with Norwich they got 12 of the 20 points at home. So that's essentially 66% of the points has come from home. Like, so you like, in my opinion, Norwich have been a decent form of run, beating Burnley 2-0, then going narrow, losing 3-2 to Man United. I could easily see Norwich causing the upset against Newcastle. But before I give you the score prediction, let's talk about Newcastle. Newcastle played very well against Leicester City. Bruno Guimaraes, top quality signing. Yes, they did splash a lot of money for him, but you could see it's the Premier League. Like, the Premier League, you know that every player is inflated. Every player is triple the price at the current market. Like, the market is absolutely inflated. And you could see how one win against Wolves is actually up Newcastle. Before that, Newcastle lost 3 games in a row, getting a 1-0 lead, and then Dan Burns scoring in the last minute, the 90th minute against Wolves, gave them the morale to go at home with 50,000 Geordies screaming at Leicester, screaming the top of their lungs, allowed them to win. But I feel like with Norwich, they don't want to be that team, as I said, wants to be part of the cycle who go up and down every season. And they're trying to make a push. They're trying to make a push for safety. It's a bit too late, in my opinion, yes. But I could see Norwich causing an upset. I think it could be an upset with Norwich. But I could see an upset, but I'm going to predict a 2-1 Newcastle. So guys, let's move on to the next game. So the next game, we got Brentford against Tottenham. We got 11th position against 4th position. And does this game mean a lot for Brentford? No. Brentford are essentially maintain safety in the league. But one thing, Brentford have been on an absolute tear in the last 3 games. Beating Chelsea 4-1, then beating West Ham, was it 1-0 or 2-0? And then recently getting a last-minute crucial winner at the Ornette Stadiums at Vicarage Road. Like, I didn't expect this from Brentford. They've absolutely just shocked me. Ivan Toney, yes, he takes the piss out of Brentford and he doesn't know what club he's playing for. But at the end of the day, I think this season he scored something like 11 or 12 goals. And Christian Odegaard, a great captain, absolutely dominating the defense, making sure that they don't get ripped open. And Brentford are a team to look out for next season. I think if they sign the right players, make sure everyone knows their role, they could get Europa League football next year. You could see they clearly have the quality to beat the top teams. But let's not talk about Brentford. We know that Brentford safety's thing there. They just want to make sure that they have the current run of form going on to make sure they can even up the table. But we need to talk about Tottenham. Tottenham, what did you do? I'm sorry, why are you bottling at Tottenham? You absolutely went there and the recent game against Brighton for Tottenham was disaster. Like, I didn't expect that from Tottenham. Like, Tottenham have had top 4 on the grips and losing gives Man United a chance, and we don't deserve that chance. But it wasn't like Tottenham were dominating the game against Brighton and then Brighton got a lucky goal or did play the park the bus football and thumped the ball up there and scored. It wasn't that. Tottenham just didn't look. They looked a bit lackluster in that game. Brighton dominated more. The only thing Tottenham did in that game was dominate more possessions, but Brighton had more shots on target, had more shots, had more tackles, had more interceptions than Tottenham. And I feel like Tottenham are just taking a step back, and they can't they can't take a step back right now. And I feel like this game against Brentford, they need to go out there and absolutely just show them that why they're paying the money for alternative content and why Son has been banging goals with currently 17 goals in the league, and Kane with 12 assists this season, Dusan Kukuleski with 12, I think right now 5 goals and 4 assists. So Tottenham to go and show why they want to get top 4 and why they want to be in European football, and they don't want to be the laughing stock of London anymore. So the prediction for this, I'm gonna go 2-0. Let's move on to the next game. So the next game we got Burnley against Wolves. Got 18th position against 8th position. And before I get into the predicting, let me just say one thing. What a fucking job Sean Dyche has done for the club of Burnley. Taking him into the Premier League with such a small budget, with a net spend of something like plus 10 million. So he's actually made the club 10 million pounds. And in the Premier League, you don't see that anymore. You see all the top clubs spending hundreds of million on players. Man United spending 110 million on Sancho. Like Arsenal spending a net worth of 130 million on different players. Man City spending 60 million, 100 million Jack Grealish. You don't see this. And everyone needs to salute what he's done for the club. Like, you have to appreciate when you see one good manager. Yes, he's not been the best this season, but to let him go off the job, like, it's a tough decision to make. And I think the Burnley board have probably struggled to make the decision. But let's talk about Burnley. What a great game against West Ham. And before I get into the game with West Ham, I want to give my condolences to Westwood. But that injury looked really bad. But that game against West Ham, to get 1-1 draw is very monumental at the London Stadium. Because West Ham, yes, they've been a bit poor in the league. Fatigue can be a big thing. But to get a 1-1 draw when you're so close in the relegation battle, yes, Burnley are a couple of games off Everton, and Everton do have some easy games coming up for them. But Everton do have a shambolic record away from home. So if Burnley carry on winning the games, then Everton start losing 1-2 games here and there. You never know. But let's move on to Wolves. Wolves, they had a nice 1 week break. The last game they played was a 1-0 loss to Newcastle, and I think they played very well in the game, but conceding the last minute. And conceding the last minute is not a nice thing to have. It breaks your heart. But with Wolves, if they carry on winning the games and the top 4 teams start losing the games here and there, you never know. Europa League football could be up for grabs, and I feel like this is why Wolves are going to absolutely try the best in the game. Raul Jimenez with something like 11 goals this season. Ruben Neves has been unreal for them. The keeper? I really like Jose Sa. One of the most clean sheets in the Premier League right now. And the defense with Cody has been unreal. So in my opinion, what's the score prediction going to be? So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Wolves. So guys, the next game we got is Brighton against Southampton. 10th position against 12th position. And I feel like Brighton, they've got 2 crucial wins against Arsenal and Tottenham. Okay, against Arsenal, they converted chances and they were on the back foot. But against Tottenham, they weren't on the back foot. Graham Potter, before the international break, you could see how much they were losing, and Graham Potter's job was in jeopardy for a certain moment. Brighton fans were a bit scared. I think Brighton were a bit scared that they were getting so close to the relegation zone, and they were losing a couple of games while other teams were winning. But ever since then, I think they don't need to worry. Beating Arsenal, beating Tottenham, like it's been unreal. Taking off in the first game, taking out Neil Maupay, and in the recent game, I think they took out Neil Maupay as well. And you can see how it's really revolutionized the team. And I feel like with Brighton, they could actually get a very decent win, which they need against Southampton. Southampton, yes, they beat Arsenal recently 1-0, but they got thumped in the previous game 6-0. I feel like this game could go anywhere in my opinion. But I'm leaning towards Brighton. I feel like with current form, Brighton have been on an absolute tear. Yes, with Southampton, they have very good goal scorers with Che Adams, Shane Long, El Nusi, Van der Rek. Both teams have exceptional squads. With Brighton, they have the likes of Neil Maupay, Tossard, Lewis Dunk. So you can't Basuma. You can't rule out both teams. But I'm gonna predict a 2-0 Brighton. Next game we got Chelsea against West Ham, and I'm gonna be quick with this prediction. We got 3rd position against 7th position. And this game is important for Chelsea because they need to make sure that they don't slip up. Like, yes, 3rd position is currently secure for them, but you never know. Imagine start slipping up a couple of games, and the next thing you know, like Tottenham could catch up to them. But do I think this is going to happen? I think 3rd position is pretty much Chelsea's position. And Chelsea, they do have a lot of tough games coming up. And fatigue is going to be a big thing because they played on the Saturday against Crystal Palace, playing again on Thursday, playing on the Sunday, and then once again playing on the Tuesday. So imagine all these games which Chelsea are playing. You could see how West Ham could cause an upset. Do you think they're going to cause an upset? I feel like West Ham squad depth is not enough for me. You can see how they play so well in the Europa League but playing so bad in the league. Because I think they're trying to rest all the players because they got a crucial game coming against Eintracht Frankfurt the following week. So if it was West Ham, it's kind of a trade-off. I would trade off all my good players to make sure they're fit for Eintracht Frankfurt and don't mind dropping points in the league, because with West Ham, if they win the Europa League, that'll be so monumental for them. Getting Champions League football will be probably one of the best things which has happened in West Ham's history. Like, yes, they had most of the players for the 1966 World Cup. They were very influential for us, but at the end of the day, I'm going to say this is going to be a Chelsea win. I think Chelsea are going to win this at the Bridge, a solid 3-1. So guys, let's move on to the last game of Sunday. So the last game of Sunday, we got the Merseyside derby. Liverpool against Everton. Second position against 17th position. And in my opinion, Liverpool are going to win. I'm going to say it off the bat. Like with Liverpool, they are making a push for the title. They want to get the quadruple this season, and that's easily achievable. Getting to an FA Cup final versus Chelsea. We know Chelsea have a shambolic record in the final in Wembley, but that's a different video. That is the FA Cup prediction, who's going to come in the future. But with Everton, they've had one of the worst away records. The last away win they've got was 20th August against Brighton. Like 8 months not winning away. That's crazy in my opinion. Like, they are terrible away from home, and they've gained most of the points this season at home. So I can't see Everton doing anything more. Yes, Everton have the quality of Richarlison, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but look at Liverpool: Sadio Mane, Diego Jota, Bobby Firmino, Luis Diaz. I know this prediction's quick, but I'm gonna go. This is gonna be a thumping from Liverpool. It's gonna be 3-0 Liverpool. So guys, let's move to the Monday game. So Monday game, we got Crystal Palace against Leeds, 13th position against 16th. And with Crystal Palace, their game against Chelsea was poor. They held up for 16 minutes, but as soon as Ruben Loftus-Cheek converted the chance, they tried to go on the front foot. And yes, they get a few chances. The defender had an open chance and just absolutely scuffed it. They could have won that game, but they bottled at the end of the season. Bottled at the end of the day. And they need to win a game in the league, in my opinion. They lost the last game against Leicester. But with one thing with Crystal Palace, they've been pretty decent at home. I think they gained more, like 60% of the points at home this season. So, and the last home game was against Arsenal, and they thumped Arsenal 3-0. So, in my opinion, I feel like Leeds haven't, even though Leeds have been winning the last few games against Watford, against Burnley, against was it Southampton, like, they still are conceding a lot of goals. They're still getting opened up. Yes, they have Jesse Marsh, and he's given them a open life, but at the end of the day, I feel like Crystal Palace need that bounce back. Losing to a monumental FA Cup semi-final, I feel like Patrick Vieira's men are gonna open up Leeds, and I feel like with Crystal Palace have the likes of Eze, have the likes of Zaha, Ayew, Benteke, and I feel like Leeds defense is just not ready for this. So in my humble opinion, I'm gonna go for a 3-0 Palace. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, comment. I'm gonna be doing some streams of the UEFA Champions League next week, or the Europa League, or the Conference League. So watch out for that. The UFC might be streamed, the F1. So everyone, please like, subscribe, comment. Comment who do you think is gonna win from this game week, and I'll see you later.